Hey, what's going on, everybody? Justin here at Traumful Reads, and in this video I just want to do a little bit of clarification on some of the comments I said in a couple earlier videos about kind of weaning off fantasy and kind of abandoning it and leaving it to the wolves, I guess. I just want to kind of clarify that a little bit, but before we get into that, I just want to let you guys know I'm going to be doing my 2K Q&A session coming up pretty soon. Got quite a few questions already, but if you haven't heard about it or whatever and you want to ask me some questions, leave some comments down below. It can be about, books or my channel, that kind of stuff, or bookish related stuff, but it could also be personal stuff if you'd like as well. Pretty much anything, just go ahead and ask some questions down below and I'll add them to the rest of the pool of questions, and you'll get to find out a little bit more about me maybe. So there's that plug, and so yeah, let's just go on to clarifying the fantasy thing. And this is my second take on this video. Did it I think 2 days ago, but it was like 95 degrees and I just had when I was going to edit, I just had sweat pouring down off me, and I was like, yeah, that's super cringy, no one's gonna want to watch that. And then the day after was 94, and today I think it's 92 or something like that. So we'll just see how it goes with that, but it's still a really nice day. I'm not going to complain about the heat. I live in northern Maine, so we have winter half the year. I'm not going to complain about some hot days. Plus, I grew up in Florida. I'm kind of used to it anyways. But kind of leads me to me arguing with my in-laws all the time because they don't really believe in global warming, and I'm just in climate change, and I'm just nah. It hasn't. The last time it was 95 degrees in June was 30 years ago up here, and we have literally a week of 94s and 95s in a row. I'm just yeah, come on. They're just meh, as I walk through a spider. But anyways, that was a tangent. Let's get on to the actual topic of the video. So like I said, what I'm going to be doing is definitely just kind of just lessening my fantasy reads, mostly because I just don't, it's not that I don't enjoy them per se, it's more just I don't feel like I'm really getting anything out of it. It's not a big deal, when I don't read it. I don't crave it or anything. And to me, that's just a sign that, if I'd rather be thinking about, history books and science and nature books, that's kind of what I should be reading, if I'm always going to them anyways. I don't want the, not that there's any pressure to read fantasy. I just always kind of was, the past 2 years, I've been splitting everything pretty equally, a third, I think was what I did last year. So I just don't want to, like I said, I just don't feel like reading it, to be honest. There is a caveat to that, mainly Warhammer, as I walk through a bunch of bird dogs, of course. I have really enjoyed the Warhammer stuff, which is really surprising to me because it's kind of science fantasy, sci-fi fantasy, because there's obviously laser weapons and whatever, and spaceships and whatever, but they also not maybe not 90% of the time, but half the time they're using melee weapons like axes and chainswords and stuff too. So it's very fantasy-esque, and there's essentially magic elements kind of going on as well. So I've really been enjoying it. The first book I picked up beginning of last year, I think I got for $3 or $4. I just saw it, and I was because it was on sale, and I was what the heck, might as well try it. And I really enjoyed it. So been reading a lot of Warhammer since then, and I think that's going to be basically my fiction diet for the most part. I will say I will be reading some authors and series that I started in the past. I will be finishing some of them that I've really enjoyed, most notably Scott Lynch's Gentleman Bastard is my favorite fantasy series. I read the first 2 books, so I will be reading Republic of Thieves at some point, and then whenever he publishes more books in his own time, Thorn of Emberlane, I think is the 4th book and stuff, I will probably be picking those up and reading those as well. And like I said, there's just a few other authors, like Gene Wolfe, for example, and maybe some subgenres flintlock fantasy and stuff I really enjoyed in the past. So I just might, like I said, I'll read some fantasy. It'll just be very limited to kind of what I've been doing in the past. I won't be maybe exploring, because I don't know if that's really the right word. I won't be branching out as much with the fantasy. Just every time I branch out, I just have a lot of middle of the road kind of meh reads, and I don't know, I just don't enjoy having mad reads when I know I can pick out some fun, history and science books and basically know I'm gonna get like 4 and 5 star like views or reads out of them. So that's kind of the main gist where I'm going with the whole weaning off fantasy. So there will be some, just definitely not as much. And like for example, I will be reading still like anything Middle Earth Tolkien-esque, I guess, you know, like I still have to read like the Lay of Beren and Luthien and everything. Oh, sorry, I was just like watching a dragonfly. I gotta start, I think I gotta get a dragonfly field guide. I don't have one of those, but I really love dragonflies and I have no idea what I'm looking at to like identify them or anything like that. So anyways, like I said, just gives me more time to read more nature books, history books, learn more about, you know, kind of the world around me and whatever, like here in my backyard and whatnot. So that's just kind of where I'm coming from with the fantasy reads. So I do apologize, like I said, if you follow the channel specifically. I knew there were a few specifically just for my kind of like diverse like fantasy reads and whatnot. Let's see if we can sneak up on this. Nope, there's a pearl crescent butterfly right there, but I don't know if you'll really be able to see. You can probably see it flying a little bit, but like I said, I gotta start practicing more with the GoPro too, so we can get some cool footage and everything. I remember like last year when I was doing one of these videos and I snuck up on a pileated woodpecker on the ground. I thought that was really cool. That was like my David Attenborough moment. But anyways, the point is I do apologize for, there were a few of you that follow the channel for kind of my like interesting kind of off the beaten path kind of fantasy reads and recommendations and stuff. So like I said, I do apologize if that is why you follow the channel, but hope you stick around for, you know, some off the beaten path non-fiction reviews in books and stuff as well. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm glad everyone seems to be enjoying the nature walks and stuff. I will be doing, like when I do trips to like some parks and things, I'll try and do a couple of videos at each one. That way like you have different scenery and whatnot. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Whether you're reading fantasy or other kinds of non-fiction, anything like that, always remember, read victoriously.